right, this is day 2 of the Heavy Montreal Festival. The bands we saw, heard, or otherwise experienced were Lita Ford, Abbath, Gojira, Billy Talent, BARF, The Agonist, Devin Townsend, NOFX, Iggy Pop, and more or less Faith No More. Okay, so day 2.
Day 2, Saturday. What a great day.
Oh, yeah. So we didn't... I remember that we got there later. There was luckily not a lot early, so we could, like, sleep a little and we didn't have to, like, zip over there at, like, noon or whatever.
Right, we found different food, too. We found more food.
Yeah.
That was great. But, yeah, nobody was on my list until 3. And 3 o'clock was pretty amazing set.
So even though, technically speaking, Friday was like tech metal day and Sunday was butt rock day, but we got a little butt rock preview. There's at least one major butt rock band per day. Friday we had Extreme, and then Saturday it was Lita Ford.
Lita Ford.
Man,
this is a pretty amazing set.
Yeah.
There was a lot going on.
A lot of what?
A lot of. So the first thing, and this is probably just my fault for, not really like knowing that much about Lita Ford, but she has this huge tattoo on her right arm, and I was like, does she have a gigantic Budweiser logo? Does it really look like that? And then I looked up and I saw what her backdrop was, and it was just like, it was basically that, but in weirder dimensions. It's these triangle things.
I think it's like the shape on like a Black Widow. It's like an hourglass shape.
Yeah.
So it's like a black background with like a red like hourglass kind of thing. But
it's elongated on her arm.
Yeah.
It looks like the Budweiser logo.
Well, it looks all funky and stretched on her arm because she probably got it 30 years ago.
I don't think that's not how your arm works.
It also says Lita Ford on it, by the way. It definitely said her name on it.
But
it's a tattoo of her own name.
We weren't in the front row. But right, she has a Lita Ford tattoo. Lita Ford has a Lita Ford tattoo. She is committed to the brand. But no, it was, so the set was, I don't know, it was crazy. So she was wearing this bright red, like leather
jumpsuit.
Yeah, jumpsuit thing.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah. It was really hot. I think it was the hottest day too. Saturday. It was like super sunny, really hot. I remember like Friday it was kind of cool, so even though it was sunny, we got there and it was like, oh, this isn't too bad. And then Saturday I was like, shit, it's hot.
Well, Friday there were a bunch of clouds. I felt I was hottest on Sunday.
Yeah.
Probably because I was wearing a darker shirt.
Yeah,
day.
I was really hot on Sunday, but I think it was also partially that I was already sunburned, and then I was just like, fuck it.
Oh. Well, the other thing is on Saturday, again, I got sprayed by the fire hose.
Yeah.
So
I didn't get sprayed on Saturday.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna go with because even remember on Saturday I ended up wearing my long sleeve shirt while I was trying to dry out my other shirt.
Yeah,
I don't think it was as hot.
Okay, well my point being, we got there and I was like, it's definitely hotter than yesterday. And the first thing I see is Lita Ford wearing a red leather jumpsuit.
That is correct. That was very not weather appropriate.
I do remember one of her because she played the 2 songs. Okay, actually 3 songs I know.
I remember 2.
Okay, so the three songs that I know are "Kiss Me Deadly," which I think she might have closed with, and she did the Runaways song "Cherry Bomb."
Yeah, and then I forgot, and that was that was just awful. Yeah. Okay,
and then the one we actually were like, oh, this is the one I wouldn't mind hearing her do.
Yeah.
Was the duet, the Ozzy Osbourne duet, "Close My Eyes Forever."
That was amazing. She also played "Gotta Let Go."
Oh, right. I was going to say, I didn't know that song, but all I know is she kept saying, "Gotta Let Go," and we were like of the 80s?
Yeah, because it was so weird. Like, this set was definitely, like, in a time capsule.
Yeah.
Like, so to Lita Ford's credit, her set, even though it was from a different time, it was the most convincingly from that time. Because everyone else, like Extreme, you were like, you guys don't remember. Like, there was definitely some rough patches there. Lita's thing, even though not very compelling, was very on point. It was very believable that it was still the 80s. And so, so it was super weird that she's up there saying, like, gotta let go. And you're like, holding on seems like it's going okay for you. With the exception of her neck. She had...
Wait, what?
Yeah, so, okay. So you know The Simpsons, where, with the Planet of the Apes musical, where, with Troy McClure. So earlier in the episode, though, they're watching the Muppets Go Medieval. And they say, hey, what's with that leather Muppet? And they're like, that's not a leather Muppet. That's Troy McClure. And as they say that, he smiles and his whole face like wrinkles. So Lita, so maybe the jumpsuit, she was just trying to cover as much surface area as possible. And she was wearing, heavy eye makeup because that's an 80s thing, whatever. But like, yeah, man, like, I mean, age catches up with everybody. So props to her for being up there and on stage. But it was like Lita Ford's neck was noteworthy.
Well,
I'm gonna put it that way.
Right. I feel like at one point we were like, well, maybe that's why she's wearing the red jumpsuit because everything else is like held together by it.
yeah. It's like she's vacuum sealed in there. But she had a bright yellow BC Rich. Was it a Mockingbird?
Yeah.
Was she playing Mockingbird?
Mockingbird.
Yeah. Also very 80s guitar. But yeah. So the whole thing was really funny though because the tattoo and the jumpsuit and her neck and the gotta let go and Cherry Bomb was just so awful though because and all these like all the rockabilly chicks in the audience were into it. They were like they were like Cherry Bomb like every time, and you say it like 50 to 70 times.
That song has always gone on way too long.
And then but then they play Close My Eyes Forever. And like the other guitar player like got to be Ozzy, right? And you're like, be like, buddy, this is it. You get to be Ozzy for this song.
Well, and she brought out the double neck guitar with the 12-string neck. We're like, oh, it's that song.
We're like, they bet you this is the power ballad, and then it was.
The thing that confused me is, I always thought, okay, So I posted this on Facebook. I was like, wasn't Lita Ford supposed to be good at guitar in the 80s? Because every time she'd play a solo, it was so bad.
I don't remember. But
somebody responded and said, well, she said she was good at guitar in the 80s. And my whole thing, my joke was, I think it was she really good at guitar in the 80s? Or was she just a woman who played guitar so everyone was like, look, she can play a guitar.
It was the arch enemies of
arch enemy of the 80s, right?
No, so that's probably more accurate because I remember a bunch of people who were like supposedly awesome at guitar, right? Like the aforementioned Nuno Betancourt,
right?
And guys like Blues Saraceno, where you're like, why are you famous for playing guitar? Because you just kind of play guitar like everyone else is playing guitar. So
because blues is part of his name, man.
he's born with it.
Born with the blues.
I don't ever remember being like, yeah, Lita Ford, that's like a guitar. I remember like, yeah, she sang that song with Ozzy. Like, so yeah, I don't know. That was not a memory I had. Maybe you were somebody in tune with that.
Well, right. That was the thing. I was like, well, I mean, not that I ever like confirmed it, but I was like, I guess. And then I was like, wait a minute, has she not practiced since the 80s? Like. But
I don't know. I kind of felt like she was doing exactly what she had intended to do.
Probably.
It wasn't like she was screwing up. It's just that all the songs are really unremarkable.
Yeah, it was just the soloing where I was like, I thought she was supposed to be like hot shit.
Yeah, I didn't get that memo.
An even better contrast than going from arch enemy to extreme was going from Lita Ford. The way you put it was we went from rock and roll grandma to black metal grandpa because Abbath was up next.
This was amazing. So for those of you who don't know, Abbath, he was in Immortal, which Battles in the North is one of these black metal albums that people always point to. I don't know why. I would much rather listen to Dissection or Emperor or something, but it's one of, I guess, like it's that ultimate like triggered sounds like it's in a can.
Yeah, like the first one was recorded in the forest in a shed on a tape deck or whatever. And
no, that's Dark Throne, 4-track in a forest.
Okay, yeah.
But no, I know,
Or
like
Blood Must Be Shed.
Oh yeah, that is amazing. That album like is legitimately amazing, though not for how terrible the recording quality is. The recording quality happens to be awful, but that album is amazing. But I never got into Immortal, but I knew a bunch of people, like in particular. So give another shout out. I went to school with Jeremy Safer. If you don't know who he is, he's a photographer. He's a band photographer. He's done a lot of metal bands. He's also done like a ton of core bands. But he'll end up like on the, and I apologize if I have this wrong, but like Decibel or these magazines, he'll get the cover a lot of times. And he's done some projects. He has a couple of books out. He has a clothing line and all this other stuff. But I mean, when we were at Berkeley and he was like, yeah, man, I'm gonna have a black metal band. Like that's what I'm gonna do. He was like Immortal, man. Like I remember him being like totally pumped about that. And he's not the only one. It's an example of someone listening might have heard of. So this is a real thing. I swear it's verifiable. It's independently verifiable. And I never got it. So anyway, somehow based on the fact that he was in this other band, that was enough to warrant him not only playing this fest years later, but being on the main stage. And then what was super weird, so like you could tell that like everyone had shown up to see Immortal basically, right? And then it was total death and roll. Yeah. Right? Yeah. For those of you who aren't familiar with the term, it's like rock and roll, but like with harsh vocals. Yeah. Or I guess it was more accurately, it was black and roll. Black and roll. Because it was shrieky, not growly.
Yeah.
And so it was so weird because these dudes come out and corpse paint. The drummer had a mask, right?
Yeah.
Everybody else had crazy corpse paint. And then they're playing like, you think they're like, kick up some legs, man. And they had their flying V's and they're like,
yeah.
And like,
I felt like the drummer, well, since it's solo Abbath, I just assume everyone in the band is like a hired gun. And the drummer was clearly like, well, I don't want anyone to know I'm playing with Abbath. I'm just going to put a full mask on. Because, again, it was really hot. And he's wearing this, like, big, like, rubber plastic mask. It was like basically a devil mask with horns. Just like, and also totally didn't match anybody else in the band. So he's just like, look, dude, I'm not painting my fucking face, but I do want to make sure nobody knows who I am. So
he was the mook in the band.
And there was some dude, I'll post this something. There was some dude in the crowd who was like head to waist, like in like red devil makeup.
That guy.
And he had like horns, and they kept showing him on the screen during Abbath's set because it was like, hey man, it's like the devil's in the audience. And I was like, the devil would just be like, this is really lame.
It's like, I got better things to do.
Yeah, but so that was, but yeah, mainly it was like. And Abbath also, okay, so if you want a real quick introduction to what Immortal looks and sounds like, just go on YouTube, and I think it's Call of the Winter Moon is the video, which is
classic.
It's just dudes in corpse paint frolicking in the forest. The video quality is meant to match the audio quality, I guess. And
I think that was a budget constraint.
Yeah, or probably record on like a Betacam or something. And yeah, so it just watch it. You'll understand, and you'll either want to send me hate mail about how I don't understand how true Norwegian black metal works.
What's that address again?
It's hate mail at yourmusicisbad.com.
So, okay, so at this point, we're watching the black and roll, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like ready to leave. I'm like, this is awful. Like the novelty has worn off quickly. And then Jill chimes in. She's like, Abbath, what is that? Is that like Sabbath and they forgot the S? And I was like, pretty much. Like it was really bad. So I'm like ready to leave because we're standing in the hot sun. It's just bad. And then right then they're like, you know what? We're gonna give you what you came to see, and they played Immortal tunes.
Yeah.
And I think that was the rest of their set. Again, like we did leave. We didn't stay for the whole thing, but we did then stay for like 3 Immortal songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And did they sound triggered?
Well, and because was Gojira right after them?
Yeah, Gojira's after them.
That's why we're like, well,
the next
we
stage.
can't leave the area.
Right. We weren't right. Oh yeah, no. We just moved to the other side so that we could be close to the front because I was like, people are already lining up over there.
Yeah.
Like, we need to go do that. Also, that stage there was more shade, and especially if you're in the front because of the way the stage is south facing, so it would cast a shadow. So if you could get closer, you'd be in the shade. So yeah, that's what we did. We went to the other side and heard the rest of their set because you're right there.
The only other note I have is back beats and blast beats.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. It was doom, doom, and then yeah. It was awesome. And that, like, it was horrible. Like, I can't believe this got to be on the main stage kind of way.
And how, again, go watch Call the Winter Moon and then explain to me why Abbath wasn't on the forest stage.
Right.
That was the most absurd thing.
This act was made for the forest. Like the other band that played that had a video of them in the forest got on the forest stage. So why didn't these guys? Some mysteries. We'll never know. I mean, they're not even Canadian. So like, I don't know. Maybe forest is strictly for Canadian bands.
Too big of a draw.
I don't know. Yeah. Just puts butts in the seats. I don't know. I mean, I don't have any other comedy from that.
Yeah. That was mostly just go watch Call the Winter Moon. That's all the
Just put a link on the site.
I will.
Just make it easy for people.
I'll take a screen cap and make it the backdrop of the podcast. It's actually I'm gonna do that.
Upload it to YouTube with that.
So Gojira was good.
Gojira was the best set of the whole fest, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, Gojira is always solid.
Another crazy pit. Another band that was not loud enough.
Yeah.
That's true. So that was disappointing. So again, I moshed for their whole set. I saw that same girl, the blue hair she was now wearing because this is the next day. She's wearing like booty shorts and fishnets. I saw her surf a bunch of times, but she was on the other side, so I don't know how many times, but tons of crowd surfing with backpacks. It's a good pit. I have no idea what the banter was because it was in French because they're French, which is, I guess, like a thing.
Yeah. So not only were like a lot of the bands actually French Canadian, but all those bands and then Gojira, who is from France, all spoke to the crowd in French, which was
So we had no idea. And there was one point where he was like between songs, he gave a bunch of instructions to the mosh pit.
Oh yeah.
And so I had no idea what they were. So I got out of the pit because I was like, this is gonna end badly because I don't know.
I don't know if he just said
like charge with.
See that guy? He doesn't know what I'm saying. Destroy him.
Yeah, I was like, whatever this is, these people are going to execute it like frenetically, and I'm not going to be on the same page. So I got out of the pit for that. But yeah, again, I got soaked because they brought out the fire hose, which is like great when you're like moshing and it's super hot. It's terrible like when the set's over and then you're soaked. But yeah, I mean, no, the set list was awesome.
Yeah,
they were awesome. It should have been louder. But the crowd was cool. Like no one kicked me in the head this time during moshing.
I got kicked in the head at a Gojira show.
Oh, you did?
And had a hairline fracture in my jaw.
Yeah, your tooth was all messed up until Tommy Doo's like, no, you just got to punch yourself in the face, man. You just got to set it straight. Oh, no. So, yeah. Oh, so this I did forget. There was this one girl in the pit. She had red hair, and she was, like, pretty small. She wasn't, like, tiny, but, just a small woman. And it was, like, she really wanted to, like, lay into somebody. She really wanted that person to, not destroy her. So for those of you who don't know, I'm not a big dude. I'm pretty small dude. I would fight in the UFC's lowest weight class. Okay. So she like took it upon herself to like repeatedly like push me. And I'm like, whatever, it's cool. I don't care. And then the way I know that this wasn't just coincidental was like in between songs during some banter, she wanted to go like talk, like I guess she knew somebody and she walked over to this guy. But instead of just like walking around everyone because no one was moshing because it was banter. She decides to walk right through me and just like barrels through me. I'm like, I don't know what you're doing, but you can have it. That's fine. Like, it was weird. But yeah, they were super awesome. If you don't know Gojira, you should listen to The Way of All Flesh. That one's super awesome.
Yeah, that's easily the go-to.
You can hear about whales.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and I need to address something because this came up a while ago. Graham Batcher, he's the lead singer for Protean Collective. If you don't know this band, so appropriately, their first album is terrible, so we can mention it on the podcast. The second album is amazing. The Red and the Gray was actually like my album of the year for 2014. He posted one time, he was like, when did metal bands stop singing about space and start singing about the ocean? And at the time, like, I was like, that's a pretty good question. I've since found the answer. I think it was with Maya Dome's Near Life Experience. I think that is the first like prog metal album about the ocean that I can remember. I think it was like 99 too. So predates all the Gojira stuff.
What about Ocean Machine? Or is it not?
It's
really
not actually about the ocean. That's just the name.
Just the name.
It's yeah. We'll get to that guy.
Right.
Though.
Oh yeah, we'll get to
that guy. But yeah, go listen to some Gojira, kids.
Yeah,
then you don't need to feel bad.
This is also a good reminder of why this podcast is about bad music, because I have nothing to say about Gojira other than you should listen to
them.
it.
And it totally rules. Yeah. You should listen to it, and you should make other people listen to it. They're like the best French band ever. Yeah. So then, So then on the next stage, like on the other main stage, right, was Testament, right? That's the next thing we saw. I mean, not a lot. They've been doing the same thing forever. They had it down. Yeah. Alex Skolnick
they played some thrash.
Right, they played some thrash. It was unremarkable.
Alex Skolnick did not play jazz, and so it was Testament. Yeah, I didn't really have anything on them either because they're cool. I never really got into them. So like when I was in high school and like basically all I listened to was like Metallica, Megadeth, Soundgarden, and Queensryche. Well, I think
like Testament was another one of those bands. Like Souls of Black. Like I listened to that album a lot.
Right, and I think that's the one I tried to listen to because I think you told me it was the good one, and I was like, all right, I'll listen to that one. And I still didn't get into them. But
well, you gotta like thrash metal,
right? Like, and I like some thrash, but I'm not like.
I had a thrash phase when I was in high school, so yeah. I mean that album's cool, but. Yeah, I mean, Testament's just sort of one of those bands. Yeah. They're there.
So Gojira was awesome. Testament is great if you're into Testament. And so
what do we do after that? Because there was a gap in my schedule.
I have a one-line review for the next band, which also offers a preview of my review of another band. So there's this band called Billy Talent.
Oh,
and
Billy
they have a huge banner, and we had no idea who they were.
Yeah, let me preface this before you say this. So all weekend, I kept seeing dudes with shirts that said Billy, and then I was hoping the next word was ocean. and every time I was disappointed, it was Talent. And I was like, what is Billy Talent? And like, I didn't even know they were who they were. I didn't know what they were. I didn't know they were a band, right? So I certainly didn't know they were playing because I didn't know they were a band. And then, during Testament, you see the next stage setting up, and it's Billy Talent.
And I was huge like, banner.
Oh, we're gonna find out.
And their logo was just like big white letters on a black backdrop that said Billy Talent. So we're like, what the fuck is this? Is it like, I think Jill was like, is it like Billy Squire? Just like naming other random Billies?
Like, no, it's definitely not. I was like, my bet is that it sounds like Asking Alexandria. I'm like, it's probably like that kind of thing.
Which was pretty accurate.
My guess was pretty good.
My one-line review is, Billy Talent is a misnomer, but the Agonist is not.
So we'd like to remind everyone, Matt, what's that email address?
Hate mail at yourmusicisbad.com. So Billy Talent is basically, I guess, it's this weird, like, I don't know what to call it. It's like sort of screamo-y, but I don't.
If you like Suicide Silence,
yeah,
you would like Billy Talent,
and especially if you're French Canadian, because they were super like
Oh yeah,
hometown advantage.
They were French Canada's answer to Suicide's Islands or Asking Alexandria.
So the singer, or I use the term loosely.
The vocalist.
Yeah, the vocalist just came out and immediately was super like douchey. Oh, there was some random like political statement about like don't vote for this guy, and we're like, we're not from here.
Yeah. They're right.
Because punk is inherently political, regardless of if you understand politics. Just important.
You gotta take a stance. Doesn't matter what that stance is,
right.
But you gotta take it.
Exactly.
You gotta own it. Right? Yeah. No, I totally forgot about that, and we never did find out. And I don't even remember what the guy's name was.
Yeah, no.
So we would have had to like ask somebody, but it was about some election we knew nothing about.
I saw posters for some other candidate for some election, so I assume it's the same election.
I did not. You were more.
Just when we were walking around.
You're paying
the
more
town,
attention than I was.
But not that candidate. So apparently he's not very popular.
That's okay. That's okay. Nobody was going to vote for him anyway.
Right. Whatever you do, man, don't vote for this guy. That's cool. I'm not allowed to.
Be like, I'll be sure to not accidentally end up in a voting booth while I'm here.
So what was the crowd makeup like anyway? Like, was it mostly French Canadians or?
Oh,
like
so I actually saw some
fest.
No,
ever.
I saw some demo. Right, it was very poorly advertised. I didn't know about it until we were at MDF, and Amelie told me about it. Hold on, I actually was emailed something about the demographics today. Let me pull that back up. Okay, yeah. So I got this email about the from the fest about the demographics. It said attendees came from 13 different countries, and it's like U.S., Germany, Australia, Brazil, Switzerland, France, and Great Britain. And then they said that a third of the fans were from outside Quebec. So I don't know about Canada, but the I guess 2/3. Yeah. 2/3 were French Canadian or Canadian in some capacity, which I mean makes sense.
There was definitely a lot
when they would talk in French.
Yeah,
like, we seem to be like the only people who didn't understand.
Yeah, a lot of people speaking French.
Right, all the vendors when you would go up, they would sort of like say hello in French.
Oh yeah, we didn't
English.
cover how wherever we went, for some reason, everyone thought I was local.
Right. So we would get in line for things like, and it didn't matter if it was at the fest or it was around town, whatever. So like Jill and I would be up front, and we would pay for whatever, and they would like speak to us in English. And then Matt would be right behind us, and they would speak to him in French. like yeah, the grocery store, the liquor store, like didn't matter.
And French and go north,
I know.
dude.
So I know. I took French in school for like 12 years, and then I graduated and refused to use it.
Because that's the American thing to do.
Exactly.
Refuse to speak French.
Right. And so, but anyway, so like I noticed at the liquor store, I was trying to make some use of my education. So occasionally I would try to speak to people in French a little bit. But there's really no point in going overboard because they spoke English anyway. And the one dude at the liquor store, he was like, bonsoir. And so I was like, bonsoir. And then I was like, oh shit. I responded in French because then he's immediately like, yes. And I was like, I didn't get any of that. But I'm pretty sure you just want me to swipe my credit card. So I just kind of nodded and did that.
Speaking of credit cards, this was the worst part of the trip. If you've never paid for anything with a credit card in Canada, it's the worst experience. Because in the U.S., right, you go out to eat, you give them your credit card, they come back with some paper, and you ridiculously enough sign it for whatever reason. And then, of course, there's the CVS experience where like you swipe the thing, whatever. That's fine. Yeah. It's not a big deal. In Canada, doesn't matter where you go, they give you this handheld terminal where you have to do the whole thing. So like you put the card in, and most of them they're equipped so that if you have the chip, it's not just a swipe. You like stick the card in. Yeah. So the card's like hanging out the whole time you're doing this, and you have to like navigate the menus, which luckily were all in English. Mm-hmm. But it's even like at the restaurant, like you can punch the tip in there instead of signing it. And so like one time I'm trying to put like $8 tip, and I type like $80, and I'm like, I need to cancel this, and it cancels like the whole thing,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, we have to do this again. It's just it was just awful.
And the worst
like,
part is how like the dude's gonna stand there over your shoulder while you like punch in the tip and stuff, because that like
but they're probably everyone's more polite than we are. You know, like being New Yorkers, right? You're like, we're not about. We're like, you were awful. I'm about to stiff you. Like, there probably isn't a lot of that in Canada. No. And the service we had was pretty good.
No, it's just more that again, like the dude's just gotta like stand there while so you can hand the thing back to him, and you still have to like sign a separate piece of paper.
Yeah, it was really weird. I really hated the whole credit card thing, but whatever, we survived.
So we went to see, I think this is...
So after Billy Talent, we went to see the Agonist.
No, we went to see BARF first.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought they were later.
At least that's where I have them written down, unless I got them in order. But,
oh, no, you're right. Because we only watched like one or two songs.
Yeah, because it was
from Billy Talent, because it was so
bad.
horrifically bad. Right. So we went over to the we went over to the Apocalypse stage.
Yeah.
To see BARF, and so I have a comment about this. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
My
what
only comment
you have.
is that it was the most ridiculous banter because it was in French, but he did that thing where he had to keep his growly voice on the entire time. It was like, bonjour, and I remember this one song that they played, which I think was Le Petit Poisson, which means like the little fish, but they made this big deal out of it, like Le Petit Poisson, and then like the crowd knew it or something. I'm assuming it's like my
it's their hit, Matt.
My assertion is that it's like a French Canadian folk song or children's song, and they like made a metal version.
They metaled it up,
right? Because everyone seemed to get it.
Yeah,
and we were like, "What?" And they keep like "Le Petit Poisson," and it was so ridiculous. And then in the song too, it was like "Le Petit Poisson," and there was some little like sing-songy part to it, but then it was just turned into a growly. I don't know. It was so ridiculous. And they were like what you expect a band called BARF to sound like, just like kind of angry nonsense, you know?
And ironically, Raul almost threw up during their set because something happened. Like he was eating this falafel, and I don't remember what triggered it, but I like at the exact wrong moment he decided to laugh, like while he was trying to swallow, and he almost threw up. And I was like, "You should have thrown up during BARF, dude."
It might have been so because of Le Petit Poisson, because I remember being like, "What the fuck is going on?" And again, I understood enough French to know that means the little fish, which is weird. Oh man, yeah. So then we went to see the Agonist at the
Forest stage.
And BARF was at the Apocalypse stage for some reason.
BARF was at the well,
but again, they're local, so they might be kind of big
side stage.
Yeah, but it's a much bigger side stage than the Forest stage.
Yeah, but I think that's mainly was just like a logistics of booking thing. I feel like it didn't matter which of those two. You either played one of the two main stages or one of the two side stages. Yeah. Like but yeah, so then we went and saw the Agonist at the Forest stage.
Yeah, and which was great because so I have written down some dude needs to talk to the crowd because the new vocalist. So their old vocalist is in Arch Enemy. They, much like Arch Enemy, can never go back to having a male vocalist, or their entire audience will bolt. And so their new vocalist is this chick, and her extreme stuff was okay, but her clean vocals
were atrocious,
horrible.
It was very painful,
super flat,
and bad. It was like. Again, this was one of those deals where we had them on the list because this was the least bad thing going on at that time. But it was pretty bad.
She came out and she was like, "Comment allez-vous?" which is like day one French for like "how are you?" but like in the most like nobody uses that. I don't think. Like I've never heard a French person say that phrase.
Idiomatic.
Yeah. So and the crowd did not respond. They were just like, the fuck? And it's probably like it's probably one of those phrases that like French people use and then like has never touched French Canada before. And so they were just like, what the fuck? So that's why I had written down that one of the other dudes in the band had to be like, "Nous sommes l'Agonist." And they're like, "Oh, that's who you are. Cool. This bitch don't know what she's talking about."
Well, no, and then
They're from there, aren't they?
Yeah,
except for her.
Right. And she gave a really awkward speech about that.
Yeah.
So near the end of their set, she goes, she's like, you guys are all from here. I was like, that's not true. And she's like, and these guys are all from here except for me, but you make it feel like home. But she said it in some way that made even less sense than that.
Right.
And I'm like, I think what you mean is you make me feel at home. Like the whole thing, I was just like, this is so weird.
So this forest stage feels like home?
Right. In the forest where the circle pit around the tree is happening.
The best part, because she at one point said, I want to see a circle pit around that tree.
And they delivered.
Yeah.
But it was sort of like, there's somebody posted a video of that to Instagram. We need to find that and link it.
Yeah.
Because so by this, I feel like I'm spoiling this by telling you, but I feel like so few people will in the middle of the episode be like, oh man, I need to go look up that Instagram video. Yeah. So I'm just going to say it. So when we were there, right, to up front, we were up front for Beyond Creation. When we were there, things were still intact. By the time whoever captured this video of the circle pit for Instagram, someone had carved a gigantic penis onto the tree. It was pretty amazing. So then there's all these dudes like moshing around the penis tree. Yeah. It's pretty funny. I'll have to find it.
We'll find those pictures. We'll add it with the...
I don't know how I'm going to find it, but I'm pretty sure I just searched like hashtag Heavy Montreal or Heavy MTL. Like, it was pretty great. But yeah, that set was pretty unremarkable. I mean, it was just...
Yeah, well, they literally... Again, Billy Talent is a misnomer, but the Agonist is not. I was extremely agonized by their set.
My sort of impression for them was they were dudes who really want to be in a metal band. They're like, there's nothing I ever want to do except play in a metal band. Yeah. We're going to play metal that's like, we love metal. And they were like, how we could make a career out of this? Is if we had... a female singer, regardless of whether or not she's any good.
Yeah.
And they were pumped. They were so pumped to play. And you were like, this is awful.
Yeah. My guess is, even before she got into Arch Enemy, Alyssa White Glues had, a good buzz going for her.
And she's a significantly better
Right, exactly.
vocalist.
So
that
it was like,
apparent.
There's this band, they got this awesome vocalist. Oh, she's an Arch Enemy now, but you want to see that band she used to be in? Like I feel like they've gotten more successful as a result of her leaving, but that's going to plateau real quick.
Well, or maybe they'll get a new singer.
Maybe. That's true. That's true.
She's bad.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, you could even tell, they had like a video with her, and you could already tell she was way weaker on the clean stuff. You just couldn't tell it was quite so bad, obviously, because it was studio. But... Right. It wouldn't be surprised if one of the things where after the first like real tour, they're like, shit, we should get somebody who can do this.
When we have some time, we should find a better vocalist.
We should find how fast did they probably find her? It was
I don't know.
Because like the second I found out I was like, oh yeah, so what's the Agonist doing? Oh, they got some other chick, like right away. So, I mean, there was probably a little bit of time between knowing it was happening and it being public.
Right. She might have given them some warning, too. Yeah. They might have been, like, because maybe they had tried to do a thing where, like, she was going to stay and be in both bands, whatever. Like, who knows? Like, but, yeah, they need a new singer.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
He needs a band.
So, luckily, after that, we went right back over to the other side stage for Devin Townsend, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Which he immediately announced was the nerdiest part of the festival.
Which was correct. And I have two things to say about Devin. So I was really worried because I've seen Devin Townsend before a couple times, and I really love Devin Townsend's old stuff. I love everything up till Ziltoid, or like including Ziltoid. And then the albums he's done recently, they're terrible. They're pretty bad. But a lot of people love them. Because I feel like
go to Prague Power.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, no, even some death metal dudes I know who are like just like nerdy, like tech death dudes. But it's all those albums. They have this thing where like it's like he didn't study orchestration, so he was like, yeah, you can just keep adding lines as long as they follow the counterpoint rules. You're like, until the textural density is too high, and then it just sounds like mud.
Yeah.
Like, and then he recycled a bunch of stuff, and you're just like, oh, this is so bad. So I was really worried, but then he played a set that was actually really great. Like, I have no complaints about the set list or the sound or how they, like, all that stuff was great. My complaint was there was a lot of bad banter this weekend, and there was probably more than we know because a bunch of it was in French.
Yeah.
But Devin Townsend had some of the worst banter of the whole weekend, and he knew it.
Yeah.
What did he say? He said,
"Oh, I don't know the specifics of what he said, but he this is what he does now."
I remember now. He's like, some days you're on and some days you're not. And he's like, it's one of those days. And you're like, so shut up, dude. Like, but just play.
Right. But that's what he does now. He says shit, and sometimes it's like, that's kind of all right. And then sometimes you're like, no talkies now. Just play. But that's his thing.
Jill's comment. Do you remember this?
No.
Because he's like, I'm so old. I have a wife and kids, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Jill's like, she's probably so glad when he goes on tour. That was epic. It was so good.
My thing with later Devin Townsend stuff is I mean, he's always been very eclectic, and so you always got to watch out for like the weird album where it's something totally different. And so I bought one of those albums and listened to like 2-3 track. Never like it was the key. It was like the super ambient one. I don't do ambient in general, but I was like, whatever, it's Devin, man. And I listened to it. I was like, no thanks.
It's pretty bad.
There was like 4 albums that were his like transitional thing. The one I really liked of those was Deconstruction, but I liked it because it was.
I couldn't even. I tried,
but it wasn't. It wasn't really like novel. Is the thing.
Ben Cohen from. He's now probably, if anyone's heard of him, it's he's the replacement guitar player for Power Glove, the video game metal band, right? He also he has his own band, Ladder Math, and they have an album coming out, and they're really good. I really liked his first band though. It's called Innocuous, but that's no more. But he was like, no man, like Deconstruction, and I tried to listen to it, and I was just like, this is awful.
It's not straight through. It's not great straight through. There's a few, but there's some of my favorite like later tracks from it that at least for a few years when I saw him a few times, he was at least playing those, and those were like cool. But the other one that I was surprised I liked a few tracks off, which he plays a lot, and he played like 3 of them, is that Epic Cloud album. The thing is, it's the one where he put it out and he was like, this is me like doing like pop stuff. And I was like, there's nothing poppy about this. And some of the best tracks are just like, no, these are like, but it's not poppy, but I guess in his mind it's straightforward, which maybe it is because it's got like kind of solid
verse
songs.
chorus or something.
Yeah, pretty
like,
much.
Yeah.
But that's like the poppiest thing about it. But it actually, I thought, had some of his better stuff in that period. But the problem is that whole period to me just feels like he's throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks.
Well, and you made a really good point about his tuning.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you're saying, like he plays in this open tuning and basically all the stuff sounds the same because it allows him to like play with one finger.
Right. And so
that's how he plays.
Yeah. And so for like a long time, he was able to, do kind of different stuff with that. Maybe it was more production based. I don't know. I never really analyzed any of his early stuff much. But he's using that same tuning, and it clearly is just one of those things where, like, it makes it easy for him to kind of like
and hard for everyone who's listening,
right?
But no, I mean, I guess the point is we lucked out. That set was awesome.
Well, but I've seen him a bunch, and that's pretty typical of what he does lately.
Well, see, the last time I saw him was like over a decade ago, so I had no idea because that's the 3rd time I've seen him.
Yeah,
but the previous 2 times were like a long time.
He's been touring a lot with the Devin Townsend project, as it were, and
I don't know what that
I've probably seen. Well, that's the current band, basically.
After Ziltoid stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was like Ziltoid.
So I stopped.
There was the Devin Townsend band, which I think was like, or no, it was the Devin Townsend project, where it was like 4 albums, and then he was like, now it's the project, but it's also a band, and whatever.
It's the project band.
But the point is, like, everything, like, basically, like I said, everything after Ziltoid has been kind of like hit or miss.
Or miss and miss.
Right. But the point is, like, there's some stuff, like, there's like a track or 2 on each album. I'm like, all right, that's cool. But the point is, overall, my overall impression is just it's run on novelty, right? Like Ziltoid 2, I thought would be cool, but it was like no, it was
pretty bad.
The rule of sequels, which is they're always, if you get lucky, and somehow make a sequel good, it's because you made something totally different and it's mainly a sequel in name. But if you actually like effectively connected it,
I'm looking forward to that Kung Fury sequel.
Fuck yeah. Or wait, Samurai Cop 2.
Samurai Cop 2, that's coming out. Amazing. Again, shout out to SW Review. They did a hilarious watching of Samurai Cop in which you learn that the Kickstarter for Samurai Cop 2 was successful.
So don't watch Samurai Cop, but watch their review of it because it's amazing.
Yeah, definitely solid advice.
nice.
But yeah, no. So the banter we could have done without the banter,
but
we lucked
that's
out
what
on
you
the
get
set list
with Devin, pretty much.
Yeah, it is like so. I don't know.
He needs to let you know what a nerd he is.
I already knew.
It's important. Yes, everyone knows. Then it's not a secret. Nobody is under the illusion. You know what I think it happened is I think it started with when he did it in SYL, in Strapping Young Lad.
Yves Saint Laurent. Oh, I mean Strapping Young Lad.
when he did it in Strapping, it was always like it fit Strapping. It was angry, like vulgar nonsense that he would shout.
That.
City is great.
You never got into Strapping?
Yeah, never.
No,
Yeah,
the thing
man.
is, so like
I tried.
So the problem is like with heavy is a really heavy thing, right? That's like the most Devin Townsend title of all time, right?
Yeah.
It's like it's a death metal album and it's like a joke, and so it's like, but City, like I think City's really good.
Yeah,
Alien's okay.
I like Alien, and I like. I mean, but this is pretty typical for me in a lot of extreme stuff. Is I will initially like the stuff that everyone else hates, so I like the new Black. And,
oh no, that one's all right.
Well, that was the one that people were like, it was almost too Devin Townsend for fans of Strapping because it was like more melodic and more coherent, and not coherent actually. No, I should say more accessibly structured. But so right, I really like Alien. Alien was like the one I really got into. I'd heard, but it was one of those bands where a bunch of people were like, yo, like Chris Willenbrock was one of the ones where he was like, yo, dude, you got to hear City. And I heard it, I was like, ow, I'm not going to listen to this. And then I got into Alien because Alien was like really well produced. For all the talk about what a great producer Devin Townsend is, a lot of that early stuff where people are like, yo, Devin Townsend's a really good producer. And then you go back and you're like, he's a producer who's good at making his stuff sound like him.
No, the reason, in the whole thing, there's basically one reason why Devin Townsend stuff sounds the way it does.
Yeah.
It's because it all has wide-voiced keyboard chords in the background.
Yeah.
Like it's tip to all the kids out there, if you want to make an album that sounds like Devin Townsend, just play all your harmonies really slow on a spread voicing on a keyboard with a lot of shimmer on the sound. It'll make your sound make you sound huge.
And on Alien, he did some even weirder stuff with that, like samples of explosions and crap.
Yeah.
But I think like on that album, it was like, oh, it kind of worked. And then, but before that, it worked, but it was like super harsh, which I mean, again, for some people is awesome. But City's really good, but City is like super harsh.
That's the one I like the most. But so whatever, that set was cool. We lucked out. Just the banter.
Yeah, exactly.
Made me feel bad.
Anyway, so my thing was when he stopped doing Strapping Young Lad because it was something about like it was super negative and whatever, and I don't care. I just think he should do something with Gene Hoglan again. But his whole vibe changed or whatever, right? And so for a minute he was just super like kind of prog rock and like I'm not doing that heavy stuff anymore, man, because it like taps into like the bad vibes. And then he was like, oh wait, I can just like not be fucked up and write heavy music. That totally is cool. Which was the whole like that's what deconstruction kind of was. But
I mean, like Ziltoid's heavy though.
Yeah, but it was but that was still before the whole like I'm not doing SYL anymore.
Oh. I missed. Yeah. I didn't know when the
really?
cutoff date.
Yeah, I think so. Because I
didn't know that was a thing.
I think because the last SYL album was, I think it was kind of already done, and then they were like, we got another album on the contract, and he was kind of like, which is again why it was like the least aggressive Strapping album because it was more he was just like
not feeling it.
Yeah, but so that was cool. I pretty much the least excited I've been seeing him was the last time I saw him in New York, but it was only because it was so much of Ziltoid 2, which I really wasn't into, and and the other, because it's a double album, and half of it is Ziltoid 2 and half of it is some other thing, and it all sounds the same, and was super underwhelming. So last time I saw him in New York was my least favorite Devin set, but the one at the festival was pretty solid.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And he has a keyboardist now, which I wrote down like only keyboardist ? Because he was even like, we're the only band here that has keyboards, which is not true. But it was probably the only one where they drew any attention to the keyboardist.
He's probably the only one that he knew about.
Yeah.
He didn't know who else was playing.
Yeah.
Oh, the other part of his banter was he pointed out how he was Canadian, but he didn't speak French.
Yeah. Yes.
And he's like, I am Canadian, but
yes. And then I wrote this down.
He said some bad
This
French.
was probably him commenting on his own bad banter, but he said, "What do you think of the stuff here?"
Is he on the spectrum? Like, seriously?
Probably.
Seems like it.
He's an odd dude.
He's just a spaz.
Well, yeah, but I mean, but again, no, if you watch interviews with him, like, he's such a Canadian, nice, like, oh, geez, you know, like, don't mean to, like,
by the way, if you take
there,
offense to any of this, there's an email address.
Hate mail. Should I just overdub, like, every, like, roughly 20 to 30 minutes, just randomly overdub, please send hate mail to yourmusicisbad.com. To hate mail at yourmusicisbad.com. Just like a watermark, you know, like when you're listening to a stolen album in the 90s and there's that random, you're listening to Century Media.
I don't know. I've never listened to Stolen Album.
There was an
people steal music.
I mean, I don't know. I don't, but like
the kids do though with the Napster.
Right, with the Napster. Exactly.
Yeah. No, the Metallica. They dropped off a bunch of paperwork about that.
Yeah.
I saw Lars did that. I thought he saved the internet.
Oh, right. No, it's safe now because of Metallica.
Okay, right. That's why we have Spotify.
Right.
Okay, got it.
So now, you know.
Thanks, Lars.
Now we just pay like 1 cent per time we listen to a song or something.
No, I think it's 1/1000th of a cent for every 31 seconds of a song.
All right, so
it all goes to Taylor Swift, by the way.
Oh yeah, well, just not Spotify though, because she pulled her stuff. What do you think of the stuff here? That was my favorite banter line, even though it was horrible. And then so the last band we saw.
No, this wasn't the last one. We walked over to. We caught the end of
the last one we saw is. I was gonna say, but. Wait,
no, I know, but the next one's not the last one.
Who's the next one?
We went and saw it. We caught the very end of NoFX.
Oh, right. Okay,
We walked over there because they were playing at the same time, except NoFX's set went longer. They had 15 more minutes because they were on the main stage. So we went over there. They had some banter.
Yeah.
Their set was actually mostly banter.
Yeah. I mean, my only thought was, because they were another one of those bands where, they've been around forever, and I've never listened to them.
They're pop punk.
Yeah.
They're like, it's like you wanted to listen to Blink-182, but you wouldn't admit it.
Right.
Or Green Day. So you were underground. You were listening to NoFX.
Right.
Because NoFX didn't get played on the radio for some unknown reason. Because they're the dudes themselves are way edgier, but the music is not.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's pop punk.
Yeah.
But they there was actually an article I saw today. There's NoFX offers $100 to get a hipster to leave their show. And then I think
they basically were heckling the crowd when we came around.
Right. No, that's their shtick.
They were doing crowd work.
They do crowd. It's a stand-up comedy show. They work the crowd. But what I mean, they were really hostile to the crowd.
They were hostile to the crowd, and then when they actually played a song, my thought was, so punk band is punk. I guess.
Yeah, it was very unremarkable. If you know NoFX, it sounds exactly like what you would expect. Yeah. Because there's no mystery around performing that live. You're not like, man, I wonder if they can pull it off.
Pull off that punk song.
It's like that two-step, you think that's gonna hold up? But live, you think we're gonna be able to do this? Yeah. So that was really unremarkable. But we got there for the end, for 2 songs. And then we saw the king of all banter,
the legend.
What's that?
Opeth?
No, thank God they weren't playing.
Because Michael's the king of all banter.
No, he's not. He
What?
wishes he had banter like
this, man.
I have to hear that.
Dude, this is pretty grim banter.
This was amazing.
So we saw Iggy Pop, and which was also firmly under the what?
We can get to it.
Okay, we'll get to it. But
Suddenly I understand.
so another one of these bands where I was like, yes, I want to see Iggy Pop because he's a legend, and I will never care to see him again.
You may also not have the chance.
Right. And I also know people who will be like, oh my God, you thought Iggy Pop? And I'll be like, yeah, it was dumb. Just like.
Amazingly, he was upright for the whole set.
Right. So,
I expected them to like wheel him out. But he's got like that Keith Richards thing going.
Right. No. I've seen him on TV.
He's actually fueled by the drugs.
Yeah. So I mean, I kind of knew he was this leathery old mess, and he was going to come out and be shirtless and like flail around a lot. So he was like limping. Like he was already like, I don't got much time left, man. But the best thing he said. So this is the quote where
we gotta set this up. We gotta set the stage. So
right,
he comes out there right shirtless, and if you enjoyed Lita Ford's neck, like Iggy. Not only was leathery, he quickly broke a sweat. So it was like this sheen. It looked like grandma's couch that's covered in plastic, right? Like, and it's that sound, right? When you move on the couch, like you look at Iggy and you feel like he probably makes that sound. And he's all glistening there, all sweaty under the lights. And he starts doing the moves, right? Like he's swinging the microphone around on the cord, like he's doing all the crazy bullshit, and you're just like, oh my God, this is happening. And it's kind of like his band was very what I want to say journeyman, like right. They were like, we're gonna play these songs whether Iggy's with us or not. like we get paid. And whatever he does, that's his deal. I'm paid to play the song as we practiced it. And so then like it's just kind of this morbid and just there's a air of disbelief around it because you're like, this is really happening. And so then he breaks out his epic banter, which I think you're about to read the line.
First, he played a bunch of the hits. Real early.
He knew what the crowd wanted. He cranked out the hits. Like it's one of those deals. I don't even know which songs are Iggy Pop songs, and I'm like, I know this song.
Right. That was the thing. I didn't know Passenger was him. He did I can't remember them now.
You probably should have looked this
up. The only one I
online.
don't think he did that I know is a big Iggy Pop hit is Lust for Life. Because he probably closed with that one.
Closed with it,
but every other one that I've...
Spoiler alert, we didn't stay to the end.
We did not stay to... No, but here's the thing. So I think... I remember it like we were about to leave. I remember being like, all right, that's about enough of this dude. And then he was like, man, I just gotta say, this means more than fucking anything.
He's like, it's so great to see everybody here.
He's like, this means more than fucking anything, man. I'm almost dead. I really need this.
He goes, I'm almost dead, and I need this.
And I need this.
But he said it. There was a hint of desperation.
Right. He was like,
I'm almost dead, and I need this. Like you're like, yeah.
Right. We were like, does he know something we don't know? Like, is he, like he might not make it to the end of this set.
Right.
We're like, is he just playing the hits because he doesn't know if he'll get to them? Like, is this his last show?
Right. We thought maybe he was front loading the set because he himself did not expect to make it to the end of the set.
And we believed it. We were like, yeah, I can see it, man. I just think he's going to just drop halfway through this set. So we stayed a little longer because we were like, are we about to see some like major history here?
Like there's no pyro at the fest though. Yeah. Like, how's he going to do this?
I'm almost dead and I need this, man.
So yeah, well, he rolled through the hits. And then we were starving because we'd been there, since 3. And I didn't want to, like, the thing was, there was literally, I'm not about to eat poutine. I don't even know if I can.
Yeah.
There's literally like one thing at the fest that I could eat, which was the ribs.
Even if you could, the food at the fest was not.
Well, and so I talked to Amelie about this today. So she said that it was actually way worse this year.
Oh, really?
That, like last year there was better options, and like the other thing was she was saying that like VIP previous years was like $250, and this year was like $650 or something, whatever. She's like it was really weird. The quality of all the stuff around, which was like was way worse. But yeah, the only thing I could eat was ribs. I'm like, man, I don't want to end up eating these ribs 3 days in a row. So we went. We were like, okay, we're gonna leave and get some food. And we take off, and we're like, wait, there's people keep talking about the casino. Like we can go to the casino. And so we asked security on the way out. We're like, how do we get this casino? And they're like, you just take this shuttle bus. And they're like, it's right here. It's like 5 minutes. We're like, awesome. And then this janitor who like clearly spoke French most of the time, he's like, he meant to say it's close, like it's close by, but he's like, it is close. And we're like, it's closed? Like I'm like, aren't most casinos open like all the time? And then we realized what he was saying, and then we went to the casino.
We're like, thanks for trying to contribute, pal, but not helping.
And then they had a band at the casino.
Yeah. Yes.
It was the whitest Prince cover band. I don't think they were
old too.
Amazing. Wait,
they weren't a Prince cover. They were they were just a cover band.
Yeah.
They happened to be playing Prince.
It was really old band too.
Yeah, they were old.
Dudes.
I don't remember. Didn't they play? They played like Elvis or something too. I don't even remember.
Wait,
so right before the fest, before we kind of go on to another band, there was a death hoax where everyone was trying to say that Iggy Pop was dead.
Oh man,
Right?
I wonder if that's why he said that.
Yeah.
Oh, you know.
It's like, it might as well be, man. I'm almost dead.
While we're speaking,
I need this.
We should. This is a good time. This is a good segue to bring up band hoaxes. So some people may or may not have heard. So there's this band. They played at the fest. We missed them. I'd never heard of them. They're called Once Upon a Burning Body, right? Okay.
Sure.
So this band is most notorious for they faked the disappearance of their lead singer.
Oh, I heard about
to
this.
get
Amazing.
press.
Oh, I heard. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they were at the fest. Now, the reason that I even know that they played or that this happened or anything is because Kim Dilla, who we've given shout outs on the cast before, because you should check out her clothing company, Killa Custom Rockwear. That's KYLLA. She's made me a lot of cool stuff. She used to be the singer in Guar for a minute. She's been in a bunch of other bands. So she was there working the fest for 70 Tons, the metal cruise. And apparently she got into a physical altercation with this guy. like I don't know. I guess he was.
Oh, and it's the same band.
Yeah,
same band.
that's the thing.
Shit.
So that's because here's what happened. So she had no idea.
Gross.
She had no idea who this guy was. So they're like in the VIP or whatever, and I guess like he was hitting on like, because they're there for 70 Tons. The girls are there in like not like bikinis, but like I don't know what they called it, but pool wear or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And he's hitting on him and like getting nowhere. And I guess he got upset by it, whatever, and mouthed off. And Kim,
I thought there was some ass grabbing involved.
There
too.
may have been. There was just some conflicting
like
stories.
Yeah, because I read a thing on it, and it was ass grabbing, and then when they were like bothered by that, he was like, "Don't you know who I am?"
Well, he was like, "F you," like, I get way hotter chicks all the time. Like, you don't know who I am, blah blah.
Yeah.
So apparently, like Kim broke his glasses and then put him in a chokehold.
Go Kim.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And I think it was because there wasn't security around, so she took care of business.
She took care of business.
And
she
then
used to be a pro wrestler, by the way, which we'll get to that as well.
And then I heard when he came back with friends, and then security did show up and like threw him out. He's like, "I'm a performer." It's like, yeah, not anymore, pal.
But you were done. You already performed.
Yeah.
So
You were a performer. Now you're just an asshole that we're throwing the fuck out.
Yeah. So
and clearly not Canadian.
Hoax is right. I actually have no
I
idea.
don't know, but I'm just assuming because every other Canadian band seems super cool.
Yeah,
like,
well, they were
like
really nice.
Fucking
Like
douchebags.
yeah,
like,
so these
must not be Canadian.
Yeah, no,
Clearly don't know how the fest works up here.
Doesn't pass the test. Yeah, so that was crazy. I don't even know what day that was, but we're gonna pretend it fits in here.
Yeah, well, we heard about it on Sunday. I don't. It probably happened on Saturday then.
Yeah, I don't. I honestly don't know. I don't need to ask him, but yeah. So that was crazy. So then We're Gone. Faith No More closed out. So we had like no real interest in seeing Faith No More. They're one of these bands that like I don't understand why people are so into them.
I would have seen them so that when that one guy's like, "Oh man, you saw Faith No More," I'd be like, "Yeah, I didn't."
Yeah, you can be super jealous.
Yeah,
but we thought it would be even funnier to be like, "Yeah, I could have seen Faith No More, and I chose to leave.
I
so
chose
I could
food
go
instead
eat at a casino." Right?
Yes.
Which was a solid choice. And then actually we got back and we like heard the end of their set.
We actually could have gone back
because
the casino was so close. You can leave and come back. They like scan your ticket so you can get back in.
Yeah, so it's still in the system.
And we're like, well, maybe we'll get back, whatever. But we came back and we had food and we could hear them, and also it just didn't sound good.
Bad.
And it was just like, oh yeah, no, I don't. At that point, I was like, I ate and I'm tired and I don't care. But even if I did, I don't want to listen to this.
Yeah, it sounded pretty bad.
Yeah.
So we just left. We that was Saturday.